Yo, what is up people? Welcome back to another legendary video. This is an exact guide on how to fix your recessed chin. You've been sold a load of scams, you've been sold a load of lies, but you don't know exactly what to do. In this video, I'm actually gonna break it down. You can't completely rewire the bone, but you can become the best version of yourself in every aspect. And a lot of people don't even know the exact mechanism on how to do that. So the first step is essentially, and by the way, I'm not gonna waste any of your time. I'm not gonna try and sell you anything. Let's just get straight into the video. The first concept that you need to understand is a very important concept, which is the base of everything. The first thing off of the bat is you've got the fascia. The fascia is a layer of connective tissue that runs throughout your entire body. It weighs over 22 kilograms and no one even talks about it. It's the entire thing that makes you athletic, good looking, and functional, and it's completely neglected. This then ties into the second layer or the second aspect, which is your posture. If your fascia is proper and loose and tense, but I know that's a juxtaposition, but the loose and tense is actually fundamental, then what happens is your posture becomes good. When your posture becomes good, you are able to engage the correct muscles. When you're able to engage the correct muscles, your bones actually adapt. This is a very important concept and is the base of something called orthotropics, founded by Dr. John Mew, who recently passed, rest in peace, the GOAT. But essentially, musculature or shifts in musculature cause shifts in bone. For an example, a very important example, which is going to be the first step of the video, the suprahyoid bone, which is the bit under your chin, which creates a double chin, etc., as some people like to say. This is not natural at all. It is purely due to a low suprahyoid bone. And when this happens, this is purely because of musculature. Your hyoid bone isn't actually affected by the bone itself. It's affected by a musculature sling, which supports the bone. This includes the muscles, like the digastric muscle, the suprahyoids, the masters, and also the genioglossus and hyoglossus muscles within your tongue. If you activate these tongue and neck muscles and functional muscles, what's going to happen is you're going to get less chin under your jaw, which is going to disappear the illusion of having a double chin, which can make you better looking, create a more snatched jawline, as the cool people like to say these days, like moi, yeah, what we're talking about. And essentially, you're going to get a snatched jawline, you're going to get rid of the skin under your jaw, you're going to look much better, and it's also going to be more functional because your airway is going to open up, which is going to make your chin seem more developed. This is a very important concept. So the base exercises which you want to start doing are, firstly, you want to start training your neck muscles. When you train your neck muscles through neck curls, cue the B-roll, you'll activate the suprahyoids. The second most important thing is to create some kind of squeezing or like blowing in deep breathwork exercise. The device that I use is the Aerofit device, which you can cue another B-roll in where I go like this. When you do that, you activate the digastrics, which gets rid of the skin under your jaw, and you'll be absolutely cooking. And the final thing is to make sure that you're suction mewing throughout the entire day. If you want to suction mew properly, essentially all you need to do is smile as wide as possible, open up your eyes as wide as possible, and then swallow like this. And you'll see you create all of this tension, your fascia gets activated, and the skin under your jaw literally disappears. If you maintain that throughout the day, you activate the musculature, your suprahyoid bone or your hyoid bone raises, and you'll be absolutely cooking. That's step one, and that's going to give you the illusion of a more developed chin. Second off, now is the very important thing. The muscle on your chin is called the mentalis muscle. When this muscle gets overactivated, this can create like a dimple in your chin or a rich chin and can actually affect the entire development of the chin itself. So what you need to start doing is deactivating the mentalis muscle. If you want to start doing this, the thing I would recommend is something that I like to call the STO method. If you wear an X or a piece of kinesiology tape across your chin, this will basically naturally encourage your body not to engage the mentalis muscle, which means the musculature adapts, which then leads to a shift in osteoblasts, which then leads to a shift in bone. And if you wonder why I keep touching my hair, well, I'm a bit sweaty. I just went to the gym, so just let me be, just give me a sec. So essentially, when you deactivate this muscle, you're going to be absolutely cooking. This is going to give the illusion, and actually over a significant period of time, if you do it every single night and sleep with that tape and prevent yourself from creating bruxism or bad tongue posture, you're actually going to adapt and develop the chin muscles, which will then adapt the bone of the chin as well. And then this combines with the most fundamental thing, which is completely rewiring your chewing. The entire base of a developed mandible or lower part or lower third of your face is chewing. And the reality is people think that a difference in your chewing isn't actually going to make a difference and you just need surgery or this or peptides or that. Well, stop making excuses and start taking action. There are hundreds of results, as you can see here, which clearly show that if you rewire your myofunctional habits, that's going to lead to a massive shift in your face. So essentially what you need to start doing is chewing properly. And if you want to know how to chew properly, well, what you need to do is engage the masters rather than the temporalis. And I've never actually talked about this concept because I've talked about the most basic one. But what I want you to do is not actually really focus or worry or chew an X amount of times. I really want you to shift your teeth together when you chew. Rather than just chewing really quickly or really fast, I want you to bite down and then slowly roll your lower teeth forward against your back teeth. Like that. It's a very difficult concept, and I'm going to explain more in the comments. If you drop a comment below, I will explain how to actually do it very properly. But you should then feel this kind of very tight activation in the masseter, as you can see on camera. This will then lead to a deactivation of temporalis. And if you're able to chew consistently in this format, you then activate in an insane amount of force. The masseters are the strongest muscle within your entire body. So if you think that changing the way you chew won't actually adapt the bone, well, then you're an absolute melon, because mechanotransduction is the most fundamental process in the body. So you rewire your chewing, you activate the right muscles, and then you create more mandible development, which then protrudes your chin further forward. The only reason people have a recessed chin in the first place isn't because of genetics or isn't because of anything else. It's because of bad habits. If you had perfect chewing, swallowing, breathing, and posture from birth, you'd be a certain person, but you didn't. So stop making excuses and start taking action. You can see this detailed in various orthotropic cases, or you can even see results on the screen of people after the age of 25 shifting their entire chin. And the base is this: rewire your muscles, get rid of the skin under your jaw, activate proper chewing, and most importantly, and this is the source, wear the mentalis tape on your chin. If you want to combine this with something like Zygo tape, you're going to see a tensile musculature sling, which then leads to bone adaptation, which then shifts breathing, posture, chewing, swallowing, and makes you become the best version of yourself. What I would say is there are a couple other things you can interlink with all of this. The things that's coming to me off of the dome is essentially your swallowing pattern. If you don't have enough pressure with your tongue against the roof of your mouth on what's called the incisive papilla or the T-spot, this can then lead to a direct recession within the chin. You'll actually see, if you look at my side profile, my chin is technically recessed. I've had it measured, I've had it x-rayed, I've spoken to orthotropic doctors, and I've spoken to actual orthodontists. My chin itself is recessed. It doesn't look recessed, but it actually is. This is purely because I've embraced every other aspect. If you are able to fix your tongue posture, this will reflect in your chin. Okay, it sounds crazy, but the maxilla and the anterior maxilla is connected to the lower mandible, which is then connected to everything related to the mentalis area. So if you're able to, at least throughout the day, do something along the lines of tongue chewing, or even if you don't use a piece of gum, which is you take your tongue, you say the letter T like this, like you hit your tongue against the T-spot, you repetitively push a piece of gum against the T-spot for around 30 minutes of the day, or you can just take your tongue and create as much pressure on that T-spot as possible, and you should instantly see that your jaw actually comes forward, because you activate the right muscles, you create that musculature sling, push everything into place, and you don't need surgery, peptides, anything else of that melon behavior to lock in. If you combine this with eating properly, getting in the sun, getting the right diet, rewiring every other aspect of your life, you're going to see more results than you can even possibly imagine, and you're going to become the best version of yourself. So just got cut off because the phone storage ran out, but we're back. Nail all of that. You'll fix your chin, you'll lock in, fix every aspect of your life, and become the best version of yourself. Remember, health is looks, and health is just the genetics of your ancestors. Or genetics is just the health of your ancestors. Got that mixed up. So stop making excuses. Your genetics aren't the problem. And if you want more help, if you want to speak to me directly, if you want to work with me directly, and you want to finally take action and have accountability and have a like-minded people, you're more than welcome to join the community in the description. We're currently the largest health-based paid community in the world, but I won't waffle on about it anymore. I'm not trying to sell you anything, just trying to help. Have an amazing day. Stop being absolutely cooked, and I'll see you in the next one.